Hello, Lee.
Hi, Mario.
When do you want to do it tomorrow? Because I'm gonna be out of town, but I can record it.
3:00.
3?
Well, Shabbos is at 4:30.
That's true. Okay, I mention it when all the others come up.
And then Saturday night, 7:30. And then the
Yeah,
Navi Shir at 8:00.
yeah. Okay, on Sunday at 7:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're on Zion Amad Aleph.
nobody's coming?
Maybe they thought it was 7:30 tonight.
No, I sent a message, and you were, they were all there.
Okay. Ubal Choiv Bebeinanis. A creditor collects from middle property. Maybe Rabbi Kiva holds that a creditor can collect from idis. Iklemifrach can't be. Malabalchov shken yipa koshko benizikin. Balchov, a creditor, a regular person pays from the best. Toimer behegdish u'rakoshko benizikin. Hegdish is weaker. We already said that if you damage Hegdish's property, you're putter from paying. So what's the case? Hi, Kenny. We're on Zayin Amud Aleph.
Thank you, guys.
We're talking about a case where our ox gored Hegdish's ox. It seems from the pasuk that there's a ptur when you damage Hegdish. Rabbi Kiva server like Rabbi Shimon ben Nasya, but there's a machlokes Tanoi, the Tanya. Rabbi Shimon ben Nasya oimer shor shel Hegdish nagach shor shel hedyot, an ox that belongs to the base of Migdash that gores a private person's shore. Hegdish doesn't have to pay potter. Shor shel hedyot nagach shor shel Hegdish bein tam bein muad mishalim nezek sholim. You pay full damages. So maybe Rabbi Kiva holds like this chumrah position. Yachi Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Kiva mimaydi beidus denizik viziburis demazik pligi. They're not arguing in this concept of who do you look at, the mazik or the nizik, when you value property. Dilma, the kula alma ben nizik shemina. Everybody holds that you look at what's considered the property of the one who was damaged. They're arguing in this machlokas. Rabbi Kiva Savar Rabbi Shimon ben Nasya that short shel hegdish always comes out in the good. Rabbi Shmuel Savar Karabana im kain my lo bo akosuv. That doesn't make sense when it says lo bo akosuv ella legavis nezik ben edis. That doesn't fit. The odd my kavachomer hegdish, then you know kavachomer hegdish because the din is different. The odd ha'amra vashi tanya badei meitav sadeu meitav karma yishalem means meitav sadeu shel nizik u meitav karma shel nizik div Rabbi Shmuel. And Rabbi Kiva meitav sadeu shel mazik u meitav karma shel mazik. So that's clearly the machlokas. Rami leya bayla rav. Ksiv meitav sadeu meitav karma yishalem. Meitavin midyachrin lo. It seems to imply that you can only pay from land. More says Vatanya. Yoshiv l'Rabbi Shava Kesef afilu supin. You can pay anything, even soybeans. Loy kasha kan midai to kan balkoch. So when a person pays out of his own free will, then he can pay with anything. When Bezdin comes to appropriate payment because he refused, then Bezdin can take from land. The word Yishalim means even against his will. Armalei Abai Miksiv Yishulam, that it should be paid. Yishalem Ksiv Midaito Mashma. That implies payment even midas the mazi. Elam Rabaya Kidemar. The Tanya. Aresha Yilu Bati Masoda Sukrami. Person has multiple assets. Houses, fields, vineyards. But Eina Motzi L'Mochra. There's no buyers. He can't sell them. Now he has no other money. So how does he eat food? You can give him Meiser Ani up until 50% of the value of his assets. He's considered an Ani. What's the case?
Why do we consider him an ani? Why shouldn't he? He has to sell his assets. He has to, even if there's no market. You sell them for what you can get.
He has no buyers. He has no buyers. So how is he supposed to eat?
So do the people who give him money have a lien on his land?
Rashi says, because you're not an ani unless you have less than Masayim Zuz. But he can't sell it. You can feed him up to 100 zuz. You forcibly sell his land and get at least 100 zuz. Because the Tfemi Pagalo Zayla you can't force him to pay less than 50%.
And then when he sells the land, you get your money back. You get it, or is that tzedakah that once?
No,
you've given him 100 zuz. Then finally he sells his land for 100 zuz. Do you get that money?
Meiser Ani, you don't get paid for. You give that. Meiser Ani is charity. So at that time, he was considered an Ani under those terms. Now the Gemara doesn't finish. What's exactly the case? Hekidon. Let's say, is it because all land has gone down, including his? Well, that can't be the Hazol de Kulamanami. That affects everybody. So he would certainly be an Ani. Ela de Oiker Arasa de Kula Alma V'didei, Ayi de Alvanafik Azuze Zilarisa. It's more complicated. Land values have gone up. But everybody knows that this guy is short of cash. So everybody's lowballing him. And he's not getting, if the land is worth 200, people are only giving him an offer of 100. We shouldn't give many Meiser Ani. Because the land by themselves makes him an Ashir. So Amar Mar Allah, Rabbi said on this, Lo Tzricha, the case is, Ad Mechza de Miyomi Nisin Yikrad Arasa Depend. In the springtime, land is more valuable. Because now you can seed them, you could use it for the next year. But B'yom Tishrei Zil Arasa. Comes autumn, land values go down. You don't have enough time to work the land prior to plowing. So the Kula Almi Natri Ad Nisan Mizavni. Everybody waits until spring to sell. The high, but this guy needs money. He has nothing to eat. He sells it now at a cheaper value. So Ad Palcha Urcha Lemesa. Up until 50%, That's how much a person will allow it to depreciate. But more than that, he's not going to sell for less than that. So the same thing regarding damages. Where we said that you can pay for damages with anything versus land. Dine, it is when you pay from the best, that's during Tishrei. V'yomer le'ihu havli beinanis tfei porta. The one who was damaged says, I'll take beinanis. You can give me a little bit more land to make up the difference in value, but Omer lei, the mazik can tell him, ishkalt kedincha. If you want to take mina'idis, take it. Shkol kedashta. But you have to accept it at today's lowest price, v'lo low. Shokol kiyokr l'kameh. Or you get the beinanis, but you'll pay me chodesh nisan value. Or even idis, you'll pay me nisan value. Masker racha bar Yaakov. Im keino irasa koichan shel nizokin eitzel beinanis v'ziburis. You've weakened damage payments when a guy only has beinanis and ziburis. The Rachmana Omer Memeita. The Torah says you have to pay from the best. The Adamrit, the beinanis ziburis namilo. That the mazik can force the guy to take idis at a lower price. If you want to compare it to something regarding this case of Meiser Oni, compare it to Baal Choiv. Compare it to a creditor. Why? Baal Chov dinem and beinanis. A creditor gets paid for maidenis. The Omer lei, if the creditor says to the person who owes him the money, Avli zibur tfei purta. You can give me inferior land, just give me more of it. Omer lei, the one who owes the money, can say, Ishkal kedincha, midin, I can pay you with beinanis. Shkol kedashta. But you've got to take it based on today's market price.
I don't know why the person who damaged keeps saying that he's going to end up having to pay more land. Meaning if it's at a depressed person does $1,000 worth of damage. And land is now,
No, because he gets, for some reason, he wanted more land.
He's going to get more land when prices are depressed.
No. Right now, the price for land is 50% what it normally is.
Good, but the person did $1,000 worth of damage,
and the guy
got to give twice as much land.
Okay, but the one who has to pay can say no. The din by Baal Chov is beinanis, so I'm going to make you stick with beinanis, but at the current price level.
Right, but what the current price level is irrelevant. What matters is how much the cost of the damage is. If a guy did $1,000 of damage, this guy's got to say, okay, it's $500 an acre because the price is depressed, not $1,000. So now I've got to give you 2 acres because I owe you $1,000 for the damage. He's losing more. He's losing 2 acres instead of 1. He should say, wait till prices are higher. That's a better deal for me. I don't understand this.
No, but the ziburis. So for whatever reason, the Baal Chov wanted ziburis, wanted more land than he would have gotten by beinanis, more acreage. He cannot claim that because the one who's chayiv to pay can say I can get away with paying you only beinanis, but not the Kenny. He can make him pay the future what the value is going to be in Nisan, not in Tishrei. And that way he'll get away with less land that way. Because he's he's demanding the right to future payment. But the lova, the borrower who owes the money, can say no. I'm going to stick with current market value, not future. So maski for Ravacha Bred Ravika. Im Kain, Nalas dealt with they loving. No one is going to want. So it's a benefit to the borrower. So the Gemara says, based on that, no one's going to want to loan money. The Amr lay, Ilavali Zuze Havi Shakli Kedashta. If I had money now, Havi Shakli Kedashta. I would buy based on current value. But now I loan the money to you. Now I've got to do it based on the future, so that nobody's going to want to loan money under those terms. And Chazal always created situations where they wanted people to loan money. It's rather comparable to a husband paying off his wife's ksuba. Da ksubas isha dina beziburis. A wife only has a lien on a person's inferior fields. The amrile ihi. If the wife says to the Baal, Havli beinanis betzir porta, give me middle land, but you can give me smaller amount. And the husband doesn't want to give her such good quality field. So Amr Law, he says to her, I only have to pay you from Ziburis. So Ishkal Kedin Chashkal Kedashta. So you have to accept today's prices. The Ilo Shakli Kiyukar Lakameh. But if you want the Bainanis a little bit better, you'll have to only get land based on future prices. Therefore, I'm going to end up giving you a much smaller piece of land, which is the same case as we said before regarding the lov and the mal. So mikomokum kasha, we have a pasuk that says that you can pay from anything, including cash, and another pasuk says you can only pay from land. The pasuk comes to teach me that from whatever asset class you have, whether it's produce, whether it's clothing, whatever it is, whether it's land, you have to give them from the best. More about Meitav Sadeutsi. The pasuk clearly says the best field, nothing else. It's Meitav from anything, even soybean. And what the Ilom is Dabin Acham is Dabin Masachrisi. Because good quality goods can be sold anywhere. It's easier to get them. Except Lebar Ma'ara. You cannot transport land from place to place. So the lace of Levi Meitav. There's a special requirement that land has to be Meitav, so people will buy on it. It'll be easy to sell because people would rather have property on Rodeo Drive than on Crenshaw Boulevard. And when it comes to the other things, it's not everything is called Meitav, but you don't have to give Meitav from everything, because if you can't sell something in this city, you can sell it somewhere else. Boimin Rav Shmuel Barava. Me'akrunim Ravav. Kishein Shamin, when Bezdin assesses the value of a field for payment, Bishalo, Hein Shamin, do they look at him, the guy who did the damage, his fields, to determine Meitav or not? Oh, Bishal Olam, general, what's considered Edis, Hein Shamin. I'll leave it to Rabbi Shmuel to boy lecha. According to Rabbi Shmuel, he clearly said, but in Nizik Shamina, you always look at the guy who was damaged. Even according to Rabbi Kiva, the question is my. Is it only, we're only looking at the mazik and the nizik. So in Rabbi Kiva's case, we look at the mazik, we don't care about the rest of the world. Maybe it's the whole world. The mazik's field. Let's say a mazik only has top quality fields. Kula, whether he damaged somebody, whether he owes money, whether there's a ksuba, goyvim and idis, he doesn't have anything else. So all of those creditors would be able to take his idis fields. Same thing, if he had beinanis, kulam goyvim beinanis. If all of his lands were ziburis, kulam goyvim ziburis. Now, what if he had all three classes? Idis, beinanis, ziburis. So, and he has three different creditors. Somebody needs to be paid damages, Anizokin gets minaidis. Balchov gets minabenanis. Subasisha minaziburis. What if he had idis ubenanis, but not ziburis? Hanizokin gets from idis. Balchov and Subasisha gets bebenanis, because there is no ziburis. Even though Subasisha normally gets from ziburis. If you only had benanis viziburis, Nizakinu Balchov gets from Beinanis. Ksubasisha min Niziburis. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to learn at 3:00.
Great. Okay, guys.
Let's learn a little bit